I discovered the icons as a young student on a trip to Greece. And for me, it was like a revelation to be accompanied by the Bible stories in such a direct way, like coming into a church in Athens. It was evening, I remember, and quite dark inside the church too, just a few candles here and there. And when I got used to the light, I discovered the different figures on the walls, beginning with Christ in the cupola as the great Lord, and angels holding up this medallion he was inscribed in, and then the four evangelists on the corners that held the cupola, and then the story of Jesus' life on the walls, and then the saints on the lower register, and then the figurative elements stopped at about shoulder height where I was as living now, here and now. So there were drapery or maybe marble plates, things like that, which were more neutral. So when you as a believer came into the church, you could become part of this great spiritual theater in a way. So this far past became present then and there through the images, and that was my first experience of what iconography could do. And it stimulated my fantasy, of course, and my joy in aesthetics, but also on a spiritual level. It helped me to discover the gospel in a new way, I would say. It's not what we call a realistic art form. It's what I would call a symbolic realism, in the sense that it's the inner meaning of a story or a person that we try to depict, and then we need to have a fundament of historicity, if you like, something real, a real story from Jesus' life or the Old Testament or the saints' lives. We have a wide register of possibilities, but these figures and these stories, they are depicted in a way that should stimulate both the reality of the story once in a far past, but also what the liturgy can give us today, you know. That's why this is a liturgical art and a symbolic art. So one thing which I find very fascinating, just to mention the formal side of this art form, it's that the perspective is not correct. It's something wrong with it, we would say. Let's say that you have a person, a model, that you put on a rectangular box on the ground, and then you paint it, draw it, or take a photo of it. And then the lines of this box will go in to what we call a vanishing point behind the figure. And then you get an illusion of 3 dimensions. But in the arts, in the iconography that I work with, it's the opposite. We call it opposite perspective or reversed perspective, so that the lines go out into infinity and then they come towards us as vanishing points. So we are addressed more than we control this world. Yeah, so that's one of the formal things we use to show that you have an historical basis, and then you want to actualize it into our time. I learn through my art that the aesthetical values that is in creation is somehow channeled through this art in a unique way that lifts me up personally, you know. So this aesthetical side of the art is very important for me, the formal side of it, and to try and make that better and better. So after some years, you might change a bit your brush strokes and that, but of course the content in this art is the same, and there are many depths, many stories where you can go in and learn something, of course.